That's just intro.
Hey there, good day, good people. Welcome to this episode of MCM-TV. I'm your host, Leon Carpenter, and I'm here today with Tom and John, two very funny co-founders of Blackport speaker cabinets. Leon. Gentlemen, thank you for having me with you.
Welcome to our palatial studios.
It's good to be here. So,
it's good to have you here, my friend.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
This is the way to start an interview.
Absolutely.
Very good. Cheers.
Cheers to you, my friend.
All right, let's start with some introductions because it's just the two of you guys that co-founded the company here, right?
Right.
To start with. So why don't we start with you, Tom? Full name and what it is that you do?
Tom Miller, ne'er-do-well.
Okay. That sums it up. And John?
John Graham.
Okay.
There you go.
Master carpenter and builder, man. This guy's responsible.
And this guy is responsible for most all of the PR.
And the idea.
Okay, very good. So you're kind of the voice.
He's the face.
And you, yeah. There it is. Okay, so how long have you guys known each other?
90?
92, 93.
I moved in next to him when my wife came to town.
It's after 91, so It's got to be 92, 93.
15, 16 years, right?
I try to forget.
Yeah.
Something.
All right, so when did you guys decide that you guys want to put this little company together to build some really revolutionary cabinets?
I was driving around. I'm a quasi bass player, and I was driving around one day, and I said, what would make my bass sound like it's being shot out of a cannon? So I just sort of thought of this, told him about it offhand.
Mm-hmm.
About 2 weeks later, he goes, do you remember that idea? I said, yeah. He said, can you sketch it for me?
Mm-hmm.
I said, sure. Why? He goes, I got tomorrow off. I'll build it. I go, okay, yeah. Give it to him. He builds it, and he calls me up the next day. He goes, it's done. I said, wow. Excellent. So I run and get a speaker, stick it in there, and we were off and running.
And this was when? How long ago?
The year was 2013 or 12?
Halloween of 2012.
Yep, Halloween.
When we built our the first prototype. And then, we played out of it, and I go, wow, this is pretty cool. And I said, flip it over, and we flipped this over so the big port was on top and played it, and I go, that sounds completely different. And he agreed. And
no, I did not.
Well, he didn't.
That's his version of history. He's got a very rose-colored
I like it when he agrees with me, but he never does.
All right, this is my version of that.
Okay.
He drives over, he says, can you make something that is like, I want this on it and this and that and everything? And I said, well, what are you trying to say? He says, well, I want it to... So he gets out a napkin or something. There's a piece of scrap paper in my shop. And I want this thing, this like a funnel on the bottom. I want something shooting out. I want something doing that. And so he said, yeah. I said, well, how big do you want that to be? And he goes, 6 inches. And that was it. So the size of the speaker and 6 inches is what I had to work with.
Mm-hmm. Whose story was better, mine or his? Mine was...
Your story is more succinct, but I'm getting to the point where you're like, oh, yeah, he agreed about everything. I didn't agree about anything.
Right.
All right? Because I was very skeptical. I didn't want to...
the story.
All right? So I thought that I was making one thing that he was going to use.
Right.
So I did. I built it. He gave me the size of everything. I had wood. I said, well, if you don't care about the size, this is the size what I had to work with. So he comes over, he plugs in, he plays 2 notes. He goes, this sounds fantastic. He goes, don't you think so? I said, I don't know. What am I comparing it to?
Right.
So he goes out and gets another thing. A Fender, same size. Don't give me that. So he played it next to it, and I said, all right, it does sound different. It does sound better.
Yeah.
And that was very important because this would not, if it sounded exactly the same, then there would not be the pretty ones.
Right.
The prototype is still...
The prototype is going to be on American Figures.
Oh,
yeah. In about 50 years, they're going to find that. Yeah, it's in my garage.
Right on.
Yeah.
So how much has the design changed to what we have here today?
Tons. It's
changed quite a bit.
Yeah.
So it's smaller now today? These are smaller?
No. The size is... The prototype's actually a little bit bigger.
Okay.
The port's about the same, but the top port is what really changed everything in the sound.
The other one was smaller. John extended it so that it's more uniform looking, and the rest is history.
Yeah.
1 year's worth of history.
Right, and you've got a number of people that are using them?
Yep,
Yeah,
quite
Tom
a
will
few.
know everybody about that.
Yeah, quite a few.
Yes,
We were really lucky. The first two we actually made, a friend of John's, Danny Cox, and then there's a guy named Brian Rossi. They hold a big gear festival at the Kensington Church.
Okay.
And tons of musicians went to this first one. And they were good enough to let us bring the prototype to their studio. They played with it. They said, wow, that's pretty cool. Come to our gear fest. Then we got in line and built the two with, true Tolex.
Right, yeah, we did those two just to have something pretty to show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because I did bring them the prototype. Dan has been a friend of mine forever, and he's very big right now in the church music industry.
Mm-hmm.
He's got albums. He's been in the music industry in Detroit since he was like 16. So I said, I'm going to take this to him, see if he's got a player that can play it, because we had a bass model first. Because I was all about validation. I'm not going to, he was saying, we can make these. These are something. I said, I'm not going to waste my time on this.
Because he never believes.
I never believed in it.
Mm-hmm.
I just said, I need more
I told
people
you
to say.
Prick before you showed up.
Yes. Watch your language. We're on television.
Oh, yeah.
We're on the internet.
That's right.
You got to be clean.
Sorry.
No, I needed a lot of validation up front before even pursuing anything else, because I didn't really want to waste my time.
And you didn't believe me.
And your thing, I never believe you.
So these cabinets that we have sitting here, are these demo units? Are these units that you've built for somebody already and they just haven't been shipped? What?
This is a demo.
Okay.
And this is for the winner of our Christmas giveaway contest, Jason J-Bone Swanson. And he plays
Great.
for a real popular band called Pop Rocks up in the Twin Cities area in Minnesota.
Okay.
They play a lot, all the casinos and huge festivals, and they're like a show band, costume changes. And so this will be shown quite a bit up in that area. We're really happy that he won this one.
Yeah, that kind of gets you out of the local area already in less than a year.
Less than a year. That's really nice, yeah. Plus we got Charlie Milkey up there. He plays for a band called Orchid, who's been playing out with our stuff a lot up there. And Facebook and Reach.
Okay.
Detroit's number 1 on our Reach. Minneapolis is number 2. So that's really nice to know that we're being seen up in Minneapolis. And we're really happy about what's happening up there.
I see we got a video in the background here of 6 Mile playing. Why don't we take a break and let the audience get a feel for what we got going on here?
You're the man.
All right, we're going to take a break for an MCM minute here. We'll let you get a look at what's going on with these cabinets here. So stick around. We'll see you in another 60 seconds.
Well, I'm used to carrying around a 8-speaker refrigerator, weighs 300 and some odd pounds. I pretty much was able to trade that in for a 40-pound, 1-speaker powerhouse. Seeing the fact that you can flip it, you get the low end on one side, you get the high end on the other. It gives you the boom, it gives you the pop, whether you're in a driving rock band or you're in a popping like Let's Play. So I'd recommend it to anybody and everybody that gets the chance to try it.
Hey, welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that little break. Guys, why don't we talk a little bit about some of the other bands that are using the cabinets, or maybe a little bit of the history of who discovered you when and how and that sort of thing. So 6 Mile, how did you meet these guys?
Adam approached us, the bass player for 6 Mile, and we got an email from him. He said, I'm Adam, play in this band. Here's a video of what we're doing.
Was he through Karazinski?
Sort of. He was sort of through Alex in that area, because we were sponsoring Alex.
Okay.
And so anyway, we watched this video. It actually scared me, going, oh my God, are we going to get involved with these guys? Because I don't know if you've seen it. This Cloud video. It's excellent.
It's a great video.
It's a great video.
It's my favorite song that they do.
Yeah, it's a great video. And these guys are local. And I said, well, let's call them up, he tested it out for a while, and he said, "Yeah, I dig it." And we've been with 6 Mile for about 6 months now, right?
So they weren't one of the first then.
No. Cinecide was the first.
Cinecide.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
The original, probably the
original 70s, 80s
punk rockers. Yeah, I love these guys. I was driving home, had a couple of cabs in my cabinet, went by their place of business. They were there, and I said, "Come on, I want to show you something." I came to the van, saw the 2 cabinets that we brought to the Kensington.
That was just Gary and
Jim. Yeah, Jim. I said, "When are you rehearsing next?" "We're rehearsing tonight." I said, "Let me bring these cabs to your rehearsal. Play 1 note out of them. Don't like it, kick me out. I'll leave happily." Brought it to their rehearsal that night. They rehearsed. After the rehearsal said, "We're buying both of these cabs."
Well, but the other thing is that
See,
Chris,
I'm wrong again.
It's not that you're wrong.
I'm wrong again.
It's just you're
I was
leaving out
there.
all the cool parts.
That was a cool part.
That's
They
not
dug
the
it.
coolest part.
Well,
You're like,
what did he miss?
it's like you might as well say yada yada yada.
Ta-da, ta-da,
Da da
ta-da.
da. They're done.
All right.
That's it. End of story.
He'll finish the story.
Chris Gerard, the most trebly bass player in the world, came in probably late.
Yep.
The drummer's husband, Matt, Diane's husband, Matt,
Yep. Owns a great studio.
owns a studio, said that he has never sounded that good.
Exactly.
See, this is why we're doing it. We're trying to promote this stuff, all right? So, never sounded
Cut
that
to
good.
the chase.
Did you say that Chris played with a smile on his face
Chris played with a smile on his face.
for the first time in years?
Well,
He
that's
was
a good
an
test, I
Anyway,
suppose.
they were very impressed with
But
them.
the end of the story
Yeah.
is the best, right? Agree with me.
Yeah, they bought the 2 cabinets on
after
the
the
spot.
rehearsal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they all lived happily ever after.
Exactly. So they've been using them ever since.
Wow.
We were very, very happy about that. And then from there, we went on to the Bootsy X benefit,
Yeah.
where we got in touch with Skid Marks, who plays for the Seatbelts and Circus Boy
And
Okay.
probably 10 other bands.
and 10 other artists, too. And he let us be a part of the Bootsy X celebration. So we brought 4 cabs there, and a bunch of musicians on there. And from that, Skid is now using our cabinet, and showing it off to. That's how we got a hold of the Lookouts. Liz, was with the Runers at the time at that show and was playing bass, and from there we just met a ton of bands and musicians.
Yeah, Skid is a big hub musician in the area.
Absolutely. He's like almost the godfather of that scene that's going on. Everybody knows Skid, and
Right.
he's helped us out quite a bit. I mean,
And Skid was with the Bill White and John Whalen. That's a connection for them.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And because of Skid, now we have Renegade Soul using our stuff, Bill White and John Whalen, and just tons of people have used our stuff because of Skid. We can't thank him enough.
Did you
Yeah,
write this
he's
down
good.
for a reason?
Oh, we've got a list of names there.
This was going to be my Oscar-winning thank you sheet, but I'm not going to use that right now.
All right. So, are we looking at just bass cabinet here? We got guitar cabinets. How are you configuring these things?
Oh, we can go back to the prototype story then.
Go ahead.
What about guitar? You said they're in a band, him and his brother, the Miller Brothers. And Mark White, the drummer, he's been around forever. He's played with who? He's played with a lot of people in a lot of
tons
places.
of people, yeah.
Cobo Hall opened up for everybody.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So we made the same
Excellent
thing,
drummer.
a guitar cabinet, a 12-inch guitar cabinet. Same idea, but we did start the top port on that one. A weird, funky-looking top port. And I think there's a picture on the Facebook
Yeah, we've got
page.
pictures on the Facebook.
Is that the one with what looks like
Two
ears?
eyeballs?
Two eyeballs
Yeah.
or something, ears on it, whatever that is? Yeah, I've seen that picture.
Oh, believe I had to
How
talk
dare
him
you.
out of pipes coming up like a goddamn pipe organ. But so his brother tries it, and his brother says he'll never play out of anything else.
My brother got rid of a late 70s Marshall slant 412 cab. He said,
Really?
get rid of this. This is my new cab. And so he plays out of our prototype.
And that
It's
was
just
with just
painted
a single
silver.
12 in it, though.
112, yeah.
And that competed with a 412.
Absolutely.
And back to Mark White. Mark White says that these cabinets, he doesn't need a monitor when he plays next to them.
Mm-hmm.
And he says he reminds them of what?
Yeah,
Stacks and pegs.
Yeah. Yeah, he says, if you go to our website, you'll see all of the testimonials we have there, and we haven't even put more in there. That we've got 6 or 7 more testimonials we can put in there. So it's almost humbling the way these guys are talking about what we do and what we have. It's kind of hard to believe, but I enjoy it, and we have a ton of people more to thank. Even the people we mentioned right now.
Right. So where are they manufactured? Where are they built?
They're built here in Royal Oak.
Right here in.
I have a shop that I'm a
master builder. See, I'll blow his horn, even though he doesn't.
I am
blow
a
mine.
home remodeling specialist.
And
what?
I would say a master carpenter.
All right, well,
there you go.
That's a nice pat on the back.
that.
Yeah.
So is there anything unique about the construction? Are you guys using any type of special wood or?
It's cabinet grade 3/4 inch plywood.
Okay.
The speaker grade is generally a little bit lighter. It's usually 5/8. It's a little bit thinner. We don't think it's anything really to do. I mean, the product itself, I think, has to do with all the design. I think it's all about the design, the way that everything is sealed up.
He builds them. See, he ain't gonna say who designed it.
Well,
you design. Let me show you what design he gave me. I could sketch it for you in
as a
3
matter of
seconds,
fact, if he didn't have the idea, he could have never built it.
and you wouldn't have it.
The motto of a carpenter is measure twice and cut once, right?
right. Yeah.
Yeah. But with me as his helper, it's like measure 7 times and cut it wrong 4 times. So he's got a lot of patience when it comes to me.
Well, it makes sense that it's kind of evolved for a bit.
Well, that's
right?
crazy. You're a bass player, right?
Yeah.
All right. So how many pieces of wood are in your cabinet? Just the one cabinet you use.
Not many.
Take a guess.
I would say 8 or 10, maybe.
Maybe at the most.
Yeah.
18?
Yeah.
There's 18 pieces of wood in this.
Absolutely.
Separate cuts.
Separate cuts. All done by hand, no machine. So there's 18 pieces of wood.
Why are you saying that we're sawing this or something?
Yeah,
Do you know what the definition of a machine is?
hold on a second. You look at Marshall or Hartke, and they take those big planks and they just run them through, and they've got everything cutting it out by computer, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, it's,
All right,
it's probably
so that's
automated.
what I mean by machine.
Yeah, these are hand-built with love.
Absolutely, with
Yeah,
love.
with
Absolutely.
love.
Not- with love when I do it.
Okay.
With semi-like when he does it.
But master skills when he does it.
Absolutely.
All
There's no
right.
doubt about it. So anyway, what's the color of your cabinet? I'm going to interview you now. Okay.
You know what?
Here we go, folks. I'll tell you what the color of his cabinet is.
You went
Black, right?
right now. It is.
Oh, right now it is.
Now it is.
And all your speakers are like front-loaded, right?
Yes.
Thank you
and I use the
very
gold
much.
cones.
All
So
right,
I kind of like the black and tan,
All
black
right,
and
enough
gold
of that.
kind
Enough
of
of
thing.
that.
Yeah.
We're talking about us here.
Okay.
So anyway, the thing we were looking to do is make something different. Okay.
Yes.
We're sick of the front-loaded. We're sick of the black. You put a Marshall cab next to a Randall cab, put a curtain down in front of it, and play. Pick out the Randall cab, pick out the Marshall cab. You can't. You can't. So we're attempting to at least do something new, innovative. Put your own stamp on it with how you want it Tolexed, because we offer, 30 maybe?
I don't know.
30 different materials.
See, he doesn't even know.
I don't know. I don't even.
Wow.
His
I've
eyes
never been on
glaze
the
over.
website.
So anyway, I mean,
You think I'm joking?
he's not. Did you see this the other day? No. Okay. I'll call you next week. Attempting to do something new, attempting to shake something up.
Yeah.
If you put this, let's say you put this cab or this cab, take this cab,
Please.
and put every other cab next to it. Your cab, this cab, this cab.
Yeah. That's going to stand out for sure.
Absolutely.
There's no question.
So we're looking to make the back line look nicer, but the bottom line is how it sounds, because that's what every musician wants. It's the sound first. So first and foremost, it is the sound.
Yeah, but this is sound with style.
Ooh.
Write that down.
Write that down.
I want a high five on that one.
and give him $1. Well, like John was saying before, you take this cab and you play it this way. Sounds great. Have ports. The ports sound different than the non-ported. Mm-hmm. Take this cab, flip it on its top. Sounds different. Put two cabs together, you get 18 different configurations of sound. You truly do.
And they're distinctive.
They're all... If you're a musician and you pride yourself with an ear, you can tell the difference.
There's no doubt about it. I mean, Bill Clements is another one of our players who's, used to be sponsored by Hartke. Now he wants to play through our cabs. Mm-hmm. So, that's very flattering and humbling because the dude can play. He knows what sound is. He knows what he wants, and he wants our cabinets. So we built him to... Both are ported. Both have the ports here. He's playing through a 15 and a 12, and he likes them side by side. But then, he did the same thing. We flipped it over. You can take this cabinet, take this top, flip it on this top, which I'm sure people have seen the pictures on Facebook. Sounds completely different. So, they're multi-dimensional. Mm-hmm. And we're not, we're saying that, but we're saying that through other people who have told us that.
Right. Go back to Bill Clements. He's the guy who said that if it passes my standards and I put it through its paces, it will pass anybody's standards.
And we've driven out to his place, which is 2.5 hours away, for a 5-minute fix where something went wrong, and we said, okay, there's something wrong.
No, something didn't go wrong. Nobody else...
See, I'm wrong again.
You are wrong.
See you later, ladies and gentlemen.
Get me one, too, while you're up. Right. Nothing went wrong. This is what happened. He was the only one that could find a flaw.
Okay.
We've had the cabinets out to 12 or 13 people.
Right.
He tried one. He had one of our models. We brought him the two ones that he was going to get. He wanted these special speakers in them for some reason. We ended up hearing he heard a small, almost snare drum resonance.
Yeah, until he educated us.
He was the only one.
Yeah,
and then found that flaw because
absolutely.
That is, you put this on camera. I'm not advertising for Bud. No. He was the only one that
Newman's Brewery. That's
so and it was a simple fix. It was an extra gasket that was in the prototype that my partner decided to leave out of everything else.
We won't talk about that.
Yeah,
no, we'll edit that.
But like we said, it was a simple fix.
You don't have to edit that out.
That was already in the prototype that I built. But he found a flaw. He did.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
And it was fixed right away. It was a very simple fix. But nobody else played as concussively as he did.
Right.
So he really did put this through its paces, as he would say.
And another great thing about that, too, is that a lot of these people, I'll call them guinea pigs, because they're taking a chance on us. Like when, Gretchen from the Luckouts, she doesn't know who we are. Mm-hmm. And she saw this cabinet. I mean, it's like you don't want to go on stage not knowing what you're going to sound like. Mm-hmm. So if this cab was up there, you would go, do I really want to play out of it? You want to play out of what you know.
Right.
There's a ton of these guys who have taken a chance on us, played it, and said, love it.
Well, Skid is the first one, really. We went to a show at the Corktown Tavern where Cinecide, we were going to get some tape on the first band that used our stuff.
Right.
Skid was there at that first show.
Right.
We said, what are these? He was like, are these cabs? And we said, yeah. It's like, you want to play out of it? No, I'm fine. He did not want to try it. Nobody wants to try something they don't know what it is.
It's pretty unique and kind of
Skid is our biggest fan.
And supporter. Yeah.
Now he is. But nobody goes to it and says, yes, exactly.
Nobody wants to perform.
Look at it. It doesn't look like, if we didn't tell you these were speaker cabinets, you wouldn't know.
No, you wouldn't. Well, why don't we take another break and give another example of what these things sound like, and maybe
are
get
we
some
going
more
down the
testimonials.
shitter?
Yeah. We're going to take another break for another MCM minute. We'll see you in 60 seconds.
say the best thing about it is just the way it sounds. I mean, it's got a really like in-front sound. It's really present, and even with its size, it can get a lot of volume out of it. It's nice to have something a little smaller, but still have this huge sound to it that you can still sound great on stage and not take up the entire stage doing it. I'm definitely one of those people that if it sounds good, it is good.
And she thinks that she can leave it behind, but I know better, I know better. Beneath our skin we all have skeletons, and we know better, yeah, we know better.
All right, welcome back. All right, so we talked a little bit about the beginning. We've talked a little bit about the folks that are using some of the cabinets. Do you guys have any solid plans for where you want to take this company and the cabinets, or what does the future hold for you guys?
Right now, we're baby steps. I mean, we've had enough validation from everybody. Now we just got to get people to want to buy it.
Right.
And that's the hardest thing dealing with musicians is when a musician buys something, something, you bought something. You had to pay for your rig.
Mm-hmm.
So number one, you had to like it.
Mm-hmm.
And you had to be in a position where you needed to buy something or wanted to buy something.
Right.
Yeah, the tool of your trade. If the tool of your trade
so all of that stuff had to work together.
Yeah, so you guys are kind of in the position of trying to find people that are willing to replace what they already have.
Exactly.
Right. Or turn in what they want. I mean, like we've had customers that are willing to sell stuff for what they have, but we'll take trade-ins or anything. We don't need to do cash.
Yeah, we just want
the cabinet. We need to get the cabinet seen.
The best
Right.
promotion is to have them played
Yeah.
out there on stage. I mean, that's the best promotion.
Yeah. In the beginning, I was all about getting validation to make sure that this is not going to be a waste of time.
because you never believed me.
Why would I believe this guy? Look at him.
So you guys are obviously promoting a lot on Facebook and of course on your website.
Yeah,
Sure.
we're doing the guerrilla marketing.
Guerrilla marketing.
Yeah, grassroots.
Yeah.
Well, as I told you before, we don't even have the seed to make a grassroots.
Right.
I mean,
okay.
that's where we are, right now. So, I mean, the Lookouts are playing a show in the middle of March.
March 14th, I believe. That
Okay.
is.
They're playing with a band called The Secrets. And D
Okay.
from The Secrets, excellent bass player, has used our stuff
Mhm.
also. And he sent us an email, saying now he wants to play this out of his amp. Before he played it out of somebody else's rig.
Okay,
So now he
right.
wants to combine his amp with this. So we'll be in the bar that night bringing this amp to D. And I'm not doing this because I don't want to do it. It's just that,
That's our process.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
our process.
We're
Yeah.
not in a music store. We were in a music store, and they weren't trying to move it. There was no real promotion about it. There was no real... So we took them out of the music store.
Because we could use them better somewhere else.
Right.
We can take that cabinet and bring it to a club and let this bass player use it for a night and then get it seen by who's ever there.
Before
Right.
we were seeking, try it out, tell us what you think. Now it's going to be, try it out for an hour. You should know right away if you like it or not.
Yeah.
Do you want to buy it?
Right.
This is where we've gotten to this point now. Before it was all about validation. Now it's about trying to recoup some of the money that we've already put in and actually get this thing out there and used. Because
Right.
it is a quality product that people like.
Absolutely. Yeah. This is something that I'm not embarrassed by at all, and I have no qualms about saying that, we'll put 112 up against, I'll put this cabinet up against your rig.
Because it will stand up.
I believe it will. Now, your opinion may be that it doesn't, and that's not wrong, because what's good for you, what's good for you.
Right.
But I'll put this 112, I'll put this 115 up against any, 4 12s, 15 and 2 12s.
Mm-hmm.
I'll do it. I'm not,
He's not afraid.
I'm not afraid. I'm afraid of him. But I'm not afraid of the competition. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like I told you earlier, we discussed earlier that there's been a couple of naysayers, people who don't get it, people who don't like it, and they're absolutely correct. You don't like it,
Right.
You're right.
Well, people choose their own camp, right?
Absolutely. People like to drive Fords, people like to drive Chevys.
Right.
There are very few people who could drive a Lamborghini, though.
Yeah. I like that.
Thank you very
See
much.
where he went with it. You know how long he's been practicing this?
Sound with style.
Cut, end of show.
And
I love it. So, have you guys considered different avenues for trying to get exposure? Are you looking to
everything
partner
that
with any of
doesn't
the other
cost
cabinet
money.
companies?
Do you have any other avenues that don't cost money?
Oh no, that's all just planting seeds, right?
There you go.
Right.
It's just like all the bands we're dealing with.
Let
right
it be
now.
kind of organic.
Everybody is attempting to do their own thing. I mean, all the bands we're dealing with are all original bands. They're all taking chances by not, being a 4-set-a-night radio-friendly band. They're writing their own music, and they're taking chances. And we're taking chances. They're taking chances on us. So that's where we are right now, is we're in this little community of, original artists.
Right. All right, so now what I'd like to do is I'd like to field a couple of questions from the fans, if you will, that we pulled off of the Facebook posts.
We have fans?
You have fans.
Yeah.
You have
Three.
quite a few fans. And I have a few fans as well, so I was able to get a couple of questions off of our Facebook
Excellent.
page.
Wow.
And actually, I've got 3 of them here that I want to ask.
Let's go.
So Adam asks, is it a difficult process in creating such a unique cabinet?
Yes.
Has it been a struggle?
Yes. Yeah, it's horrible.
It's really bad.
It's
especially dealing with artists like
nightmare.
Adam.
He's only kidding, Adam.
He knows that, man. We love him. Let me tell you something. 6 Mile has helped us out a lot. They've allowed us to come use their studio to test things. Andrew, the guitar player, has bent over backwards for us, and he doesn't even use our cabs.
Mm-hmm.
So
we're going to get him to use one. We're going to make him some 8s.
yeah, actually, we're going to shrink these things down to hold 8-inch, 80-watt screaming guitar speakers.
Okay.
So think of this cabinet, what, half the size?
Yeah. And he plays stereo. Right now he uses 2.
Right.
Yeah.
So if we get him 2 8, I bet he would use it.
Yeah. So we're gonna design 2 8-inch cabinets. Shrink this down. It's going to still look the same and sound killer.
So basically what you're saying, it's not difficult enough to not be able to supply him with 2 8-inch cabs.
Well, don't underscore anything. This is hard as hell.
All right. Okay.
Let's just minimize all the effort.
Yeah, it ain't nothing.
We're
we
charging
go like this.
Why
and
are
the
we
cabinets
giving
just
these away?
show up.
Yeah, we don't got to do crap.
What the hell are you talking about?
All right.
Adam?
So the next question that I have here
Don't ever call me again.
comes from Gretchen.
Oh,
She wants to know when she'll get the pleasure to play through one of these and when you will endorse her, because she still wants a green one.
Tell her we'll trade her one for 10 bass guitars.
yeah, you own 30 bass guitars, Gretchen, and you want a free
Trade
cabinet.
in.
But wait a second. She'll probably be using one of these cabinets the night of that show in March.
You guys are doing a show in March.
Well, she's playing with the Secrets. I'm bringing a cab for Dee to use for the Secrets, so she'll probably be, playing that night.
There you go.
And you know what? She sounds fantastic through our cabinets.
She does.
Okay.
There's no doubt about it, man. That bass is boinging and low, and she makes us sound really good. So after the 12th of April, he's in charge of artist endorsement, so we'll try and get
Yeah, and I'm a...
He's
I
a
don't
prick and a
want-
half when it comes
I
to
wasn't
that.
going to say it.
I'll say it. Prick.
All right, I got one more question here from the fans here.
Is that okay for your show to say prick?
Yeah, that's fine. All right, so this one comes from Dana. She wants to know, what's your favorite beer?
He drinks this.
Honest to goodness.
Really?
Yeah, this came from the website.
All right, well, let me just say one thing here. My favorite beer comes from a small batch brewery called Newman's Brewery.
Which is what we're drinking here tonight.
Absolutely. And they are now developing a beer for us called Blackport. Porter. This is what we're drinking right now. That's my favorite beer.
And it is absolutely delicious.
And it's
so
not a
be
real
watching for
beer.
that.
Porter is
Come
not
on.
a beer, by the way.
I have never shown you affection. Not
him
a
as a
day of my
scratch
life. Get him.
All right. Okay.
My favorite beer is made by a multi-conglomerate all over the world.
No.
Used to be American made, now some German guy bought everything. American light beer is a legitimate beer.
Yep.
A lager.
Yep.
Pilsner.
Lager.
Yeah.
Ooh, lager, right.
Yeah.
There you go. Porter, baby.
Beer that you can see through.
I don't want to chew it.
I like to chew.
Yeah.
Ooh, man, is that good?
So I guess they have their differences in beer.
We have our differences in everything. I don't even know why we're partners. So
Why
You guys
is
are building great calves.
we are.
All right, so thanks to the fans for supplying a couple questions here. What do you guys have on the horizon? Got anything coming up here soon?
Yes.
April 12th, the Poorhouse. We're going to have 8 of our
Madison
cabs
Heights.
there. Madison Heights.
12 and 75.
Okay.
Going to have 8 of our cabs there.
Okay.
Backline, also supporting the PA. The bands on are
The Bill Clements Axiom.
Kalamazoo.
Cinecide.
Cinecide. 6 Mile. Love those
And
boys.
the seat
And the seatbelts.
And the seatbelts.
All playing
Top
through our
notch,
stuff.
man. They're all top notch entertainment. $7 in advance, $10 at the door.
So go to the website, find the event, get your tickets in advance.
Mhm.
It'll be a great event. You can come for free. We
Only-
think you
only-
should host. Should he host?
That was a good idea.
I knew it.
This guy knows how to speak the King's English. He kept us in check tonight. And
I might have to take you up on that.
April 12th, come on out, man. It's going to be a great time. Seriously, 4 top-notch bands. 3 from Detroit, 1 from KZoo. You know Bill Clements and what his reputation is as a bass player. You come out and host it for us.
I would really enjoy that.
Good. That
I
way
think
we
that'd be
can,
That would be a great time.
we can continue our...
And if you're a musician out there that has any question about what they sound like,
This
what
is going to
a
answer it.
venue to see it.
Absolutely.
So if you want to get a listen to these cabinets, come on out on the 12th to the Poorhouse in Madison Heights.
Yep.
Fantastic. All right. Well, I think that's going to wrap it up for us here, guys.
Oh, no, it's not. Oh, no, it's
there,
not. Once this camera goes off, we're going to stick around here and have a good time like Blackport Speaker Cabinets always does.
Well, is there anything you guys want to add or,
Oh,
or
yes,
mention that we
yeah.
didn't talk about?
Absolutely.
Thank you, sir.
Now that I'm warmed up. Okay. I would like to thank the following people. Hold on a second. Well, anyway,
It was good.
I would like to thank Tim Ritchie and Rebel from Concept Drive for helping us out. They played with our stuff. CJ Productions providing the lighting for the April 12th show. Has a DJ thing. About 2 of our... Are you famous?
CJ the DJ.
Okay.
We forgot about the whole DJ angle.
The
Well, next interview.
next interview. I would also like to thank my wife. I would like to thank my brother.
Is this where like the Oscar music's supposed to start playing? Or
Yeah,
something
yeah.
like
The
that?
credits
You're
are
going
going
to edit
down
that
my
in. You
face.
should be.
Yeah.
At this point,
All right, then I'm just going to do my finish.
Camera work by.
All right, I want to thank these guys for letting me come down here and have a laugh with them tonight. If you want to learn more about them, you can check them out on their website. Just go to Blackport.
Say it again. Blackport Speaker Cabinets. You're
Yeah,
out.
see,
You're out as the
see,
host.
I shouldn't be drinking beer in one of these damn interviews.
He's out as the
Go to
host.
BlackportSpeakerCabinets.com is what I meant to say. If you'd like to learn a little bit more about myself, you can check me out on my Facebook page. Just go to Facebook.com/LeonCarpenterFans. And as always, please visit MotorCityMusicians.com. You'll be able to see other interviews that we've done. And of course, there'll be a button on there to go to YouTube where you'll be able to see the extended version of this interview because there's more laughs to see. And of course, keep the music alive. That's just a horrible, and I'm going to do that all over
No,
again.
that's a good one.
Oh,
Hey,
God,
a keeper.
no.
And now it's like fading out.
Well, you got to do it again for your own self, but
Yeah,
that was
Yeah, I do.
That's going to be the one you're going
You
to
know
put
what?
in
This is
anyway.
going to show everybody that you're loosey-goosey. You're not a tight ass. Whoops, you put that in there too.
All right, guys. We'll see you next time. Until then, keep the music alive.
Oh, no, you didn't mention anything about anything.
No, I'm going to keep that whole ending. I'm going to keep the
Oh,
whole
you're
damn
gonna keep the
I'm
whole
going to keep that whole thing. That was the actual ending there.
Keep the music alive. That was the end of it. Yeah. No, that was good, man. It shows that